Welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet, and for years you guys have trusted our video reviews of products that are sent over to us for our truly honest opinion of those products. We've done a lot of stuff over the almost 14 years here on YouTube, and today I got another one for you, so stay tuned. So today I got another outdoor related product for you. You know, we've done all kinds of product reviews here on the Backwoods Gourmet channel, from camping gear to cast iron to other type of cooking devices. Today we've even done e-bike before, and that's what we're going to do again today, is another e-bike review. And today I'm going to unbox it, assemble it, and then we're going to do a full review over on our sister channel, Backwoods Florida Adventures. That's going to be coming up. Full review on this bike over there, and I'm going to leave you a link to that right down below. Here is the bike opened up, and what I did, I just cut the side of the box open, laid that down flat, so I got a nice place there to keep from scratching it. And this is the Hovsco e-bike. This is their step 3 model, fat tire. And of course, you know, we're going to be using it out in the woods for hunting, maybe going down the beach doing some surf fishing, stuff like that. We need a fat tire bike, and we need something that's going to be good for off-road. So I do see right away with this bike that it does not have the rear suspension like some of the other ones that we've tested, but it does have the big tires, and it's step through. You know, some of us are getting older, getting a little bit harder to mount those guys. It looks to be very, very well packaged. Okay, the box was banded. It's got a lot of protection in there. I don't see any damage on anything right away. So let's go ahead and let's get it out of the box and see how simple it is to put together. Alright, first thing I notice, it's got a big, here's a picture of the bike on the side there, and this is a bunch of our peripheral parts. I'm going to put that to the side over here. I'm going to pull that main frame out of there. Man, they got it covered up in all kinds of foam. So we'll lay it down. We'll start removing all this foam. For cutting all that foam, gonna need some wire cutters. Easiest way to get through them all. They're big. So here's what was inside that little bag. A user's manual tells you all about how to operate it. There's even your table of contents. Installation instructions. Page 10. Let's see. Well, telling you need a few tools. Alright, it does have front suspension on it, which that's good. Unpack it, install the kickstand, install the handlebars, install the display. Alright, put the front wheel on. Okay, so I guess it does have a few directions. So let me kick back over here and read these real quick. I'm sure we can figure it out. So to get the handlebars on, you're going to have to take off the clamp and these 4mm Allen bolts. Let's see how easily it is to swing this up here and get that somewhere close. You gotta switch it around to the right direction. Right there. And Wow, there's a lot of stuff in the way under there. Sorry. A lot of stuff in the way up under there to get this clamp back on. Let's give it a shot. Alright, save yourself some hassle on this part if you get this bike. There's 2 screws they leave loose that holds all your headlamp and your controller assembly. 2 little 3mm screws. They're not tightened all the way to the factory because they probably know that there's no way to get this handlebar mounting bracket on there with all that stuff in the way. So we just drop that out of the way, and we're going to make sure that we're not cross-threading these either. That's going into aluminum, and we need to make sure that they're going in there perfectly straight, and it may take a little finagling. So hopefully that part is the hardest part we're going to have to deal with. That, you know, I took a little tool skills. Having a helper would help to put it together, but at least they do give you the nice bullseye in the middle, so you know when you got it right, and even got the angles marked on each side. You definitely want to torque these down pretty good because you don't want those handlebars moving while you're riding. So next thing I want to do is remount our control and our light. It has these plastic clamps that go around. So I installed the kickstand using these 2 4mm countersunk bolts. One note here is both of these bolts do have a thread locker on them to keep them from backing up on you, and they do take a considerable more effort to get them all the way home and get them all the way tight. Make sure you get it completely tight because there's some resistance once those bolts start hitting that thread locker that comes on it. So right here, this yellow tab, that's protecting your disc brakes and keeping them from falling out of the caliper during shipment. So you just need to pop that guy out, just like that. So after you pop off your protectors, you gotta find this axle assembly in your black box or accessories box. And that's got 2 springs on it, okay? Right there. You want to leave one on this side, and you want to leave one on, and you want to take this one off this side with the nut. We're going to slide that through and put the spring with the small end toward the wheel on the other side, and then screw on your nut loosely. Alright. Then we'll adjust this after we set it into the bike. So I don't think it really matters which side you put the lever on. It does matter is, hey, we want this fender assembly to kind of be around front there. And we're going to set it down into the slots just like that. We're going to open this up, this lever here, and you're going to tighten your knob on the other side so you got a little tension on there. And this is a cam lock, so this is a fast disconnect for your front wheel. Now be careful that you get your disc right in there in that caliper. So I'm going to put that hand tight. And now, since we're running in the woods all the time, I always make sure that this lever is facing backwards, because what's going to happen is if you hit something and it's facing forward and it snags on a vine or something like that, it's going to open it up and your wheel could fall off. So make sure this lever handle is facing toward the back of the bike before you tighten it down, just like that. All right, front wheel installed. Okay, it's time to install the pedals. Now remember, one of these is going to be a backwards thread, going to be a left-handed thread. I can usually look in there and see which way the threads are going, and I usually just try it, see if it starts real easy. If it don't, I try the other one. Okay, just with your fingers. Sometimes these are marked which one is which, but that's going in there just with my fingers. If it don't go in there with your fingers, you got the wrong pedal on the wrong side. All right, once that's all the way in with your fingers, 15mm box end wrench. Give that a good tweak. And we'll do the other one same way. So since we're going to be using this bike off-road, we're going to go ahead and put the Derailleur Guard on there. And to get that on, you got to take the rear axle nut loose, and that is a 19mm. Let's see if we can do it with a box end wrench. Probably a socket would be better, but alright, so the bike's looking pretty good, pretty assembled, but we got these fenders, and I looked in the owner's manual. All of our instructions stop at how to adjust the seat, which is pretty much basic with all bikes. And I just want to say this right off here. If you're not mechanically inclined and you're not comfortable, putting this together, I would seriously suggest just take this whole box down to your local bike shop, have those guys put it together, have those guys do all the adjustments to it, and pay a qualified person to put it together. I'm pretty handy with tools. I've been using tools my whole life. I've rebuilt all kinds of stuff, from ATVs to vehicles, and I'm perfectly capable and qualified to put a bicycle together. Okay, but if you're not, I wouldn't attempt this assembly, because these things go fast. I mean, they go about over 25 miles an hour, most over 22.8, I think is the limit on them. And if something falls apart on you at that speed, you're gonna get hurt. So if you're not comfortable doing this kind of stuff, take it to a bike shop, have them put it together for you. It'll be well worth your money, other than being in the hospital or crack your head on a curb somewhere. So no instructions on the fenders. I did find these 2 bags of bolts in the accessory box over there, and it says for fenders, and I guess we got some spare bolts in case you strip something out. So we're just gonna have to wing that and figure them out, and I'll show you what we figured out once we take these loose. But definitely need fenders, because we're going to be out there in the dirt and the mud and on the trails, and really, in wet places. Don't want all that kicking up on us. So I'm pretty sure that tab mounts right up in here. So let's give it a dry fit. Seems to work okay. And there's already some bolts mounted right here. We get you in close. So guys, we're running out of time. I installed this back fender because it was the one that was strapped to the back tire. And you notice it's short here. I went to go put this one on, and it's much longer. It was zip tied to the front tire, and there's the mounting point for it right there. Well, you can actually see that this was made for the back, okay, because it reaches all the way down to the other hole, which is down there on the frame, down in there. See that hole right there? That's made for that tab right there. So the fenders were strapped to the wrong tires. Let that be a tip. Hopefully you guys are watching this before you try to put one of these together, because I gotta go take all this back off, because that one goes to the front. So we got that bike put together last night. Ran out of daylight to film for you guys. Just to recap, we were putting the fenders on, the front and the rear fenders on that guy. We did get them on there. They look good. They line up pretty good. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, to mount those fenders, and I can see why. They give you an option to put them on or not, because if you put the fender on, the front, it's less sporty looking. Same with the back. But again, you can still take the front tire off to put it on a normal, like, rooftop bike rack and stuff like that with the fenders on there. The rear tire can still be changed with the fender still on there, no problem. So we got the battery out. We took the battery inside and put it on the charger and charged it up completely. And here's a feature that I've never seen on an e-bike. There's a little button over here on the side of the battery pack, and that's an LED light with 3 different intensities. Also, it has a flash. So I guess if you wreck or break it on the side of the road somewhere, you can signal somebody by popping the battery out, or at least you can see where you're going. But this light faces inside the bike, so you can't use it while you're driving. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put the battery back in there. Bring it up in here. So tight fit. And then there's a latch right here. And a key you can turn that holds it. I'm assuming, I'm not sure exactly what that latch does, but the key does lock it in there. Go ahead and hit the power button and see if we can get it to come on. I might have to, there we go. You gotta hold the power button a little bit. And I know that's flashing on the camera, but it's not flashing to your eye. So next thing we're gonna do is go out and we're gonna try this progressive torque feature for this bike. And that's one of the reasons, big selling point for me. Some of the other ones I've tried before, I mean, the minute you touch those pedals, that thing is taking off. So you better be ready for it to go when that happens. And this one, it has a torque sensor in it that allows it to sense how much pedal effort you're putting in. All right, we got our bike all put together, got the fenders on, it looks great. My first impression with the bike itself, it's they use some really good quality components on it. It was a little difficult to get those fenders on there, but we did figure that out. They got them zip tied onto the wrong wheels, and once we figured that out, it went a lot more smoothly. So anyway, got the fenders on there. Got everything tightened up on it, got it kind of adjusted where I needed to get it adjusted as far as the seat height, handlebars, stuff like that. It's all pretty straightforward. All right, now right out of the box, your max speed on this bike is going to be about 5 or 6 miles an hour. That is it. It's going to require activation. So probably the easiest way to activate the bike is with your smartphone, and they have a little QR code right up here on the display that you can scan. The QR code will take you to the App Store and go to the Hovsco app and download the app on your phone. And then you need to bring your phone or have your phone within Bluetooth range of the bike's controller. It will connect and activate your bike automatically. If you don't have a smartphone, okay, or if you don't have an internet connection at your house, and I know a lot of you might not. I mean, a lot of my viewers are pretty rural people. I know if my little brother bought this bike up in, in East Tennessee where he lives, he's going to have to drive to the top of the mountain to get enough signal to download that app onto his phone. Once he has the app on the phone, he can bring it back down the mountain and activate his bike. So, that might be a little issue for some of you guys, probably not most of you guys. There is a way, however, to activate it without a smartphone, without internet or anything like that. There, at the very last page of the owner's manual, there is a 1-800 number there. You can call that. They will either give you or send you the procedure to manually activate the bike. But it does require activation. Just want all y'all know that right up front. The first product I've ever encountered that required some kind of activation through a smart device and or some manual input to actually make it work as advertised. One other little note on the app itself, if you're that type of person who likes to track your speed, your and everything like that, you're going out on trails you're unfamiliar with, it'll show you your location on the map. If you're one of those people like me that don't like anybody tracking me, you can put that app on your phone, activate your bike, and then just go in and delete the app. Simple as that. So remember to check out the link below to Backwoods Florida Adventures, our sister channel. Right down there is where we'll be posting our test ride of this bike out in the forest, where we intend to use it for. out in the forest doing exploring and overlanding and hunting and accessing all those areas that you can't get to by vehicle, regular vehicle, but these bikes are allowed on those trails. We post that video right over there. So until then, we'll see you next time.